Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly run through these, and I have someone to read these so words don't get mixed up because I'm not the best pronouncer. Okay, so
Purple brain coral. A permanent.
that's
A permanent growing colony of microscopic organisms. This coral species is adapted to filter carbon dioxide from the environment, using the carbon to build a colony and expelling the oxygen from specialized exhaust funnels.
that's the stuff that was in the ground and makes bubbles that I can get 10 oxygen from. And
Table coral. Each disc is an individual colony of microorganisms, filtering nutrients from the water flowing past. Growth patterns indicate the colonies are in direct competition for positions with superior current or light. Unlike other coral species, its structure is malleable, softly pulsating as it pumps nutrients to its extremities, only turning rigid when it senses physical assault. The jewel-like nodes in the surface are concentrated buildups of rare minerals the coral is unable to process.
that is a lot longer than that is crazy. Okay, carnivores.
Biter. Small, aggressive specimen. 94% muscle, 4% connective tissue, 2% brain. Likely indiscriminate when hunting. Anything injured is fair game. Specialized or olfactory antenna. Employed in direct detection of bodily fluids in the water. 2. Secondary pair of eyes, striking similarities to the sand sharks, likely dedicated to detecting the peripheral movement of large predators. Overdeveloped tail fin, favors outpacing and outnumbering their prey over individual maneuverability. Prey, small herbivores, but, according to calculations, creatures up to 100 times the biter's body weight could succumb to focused assault. Assessment, avoid large groups, try not to bleed.
Now the sand shark.
Sand shark.
Wait, that's the bottom. There.
A slow, powerful predator that digs burrows in the sand and ambushes its prey from below. Number 1. Forward dorsal fin. The unusual location of its fin suggests a purpose unrelated to movement through the water. It may be employed in shifting sand beneath the surface, or in mating rituals, or simply an evolutionary dead end. 2. The segmented exoskeleton. Thick armor plating on the organism's back renders it relatively unmaneuverable, but almost immune to attack from above. And 3. Feet. Ill-designed for ambulation, likely used to disturb the surface of the sands so the life form can burrow into the ground, from where it may ambush its prey. Prey? Herbivores, up to twice its size. Assessment: use caution in sandy biomes.
I never noticed its little legs. Now the stalker there top.
Stalker. A streamlined predator with developed intelligence and strength, encountered in the kelp forests, in weight of prey leaving the safety of the shallows. 1. Head. An elongated snout can deliver huge biting pressure to larger attackers, but also be used to get at small herbivores seeking refuge amongst the rocks. Retinal layering on the eyeball suggests adaptation for nighttime hunting. 2. Dorsal ridges. These ridges can be moved independently to deliver superior maneuverability. 3. Pelvic fins. Long and powerful, the stalkers evolved to hunt even the fastest of prey. Neural pathways indicate innate ability for reward-based learning. Evolutionary explanation unclear at this time. Attracted to metals, will fight fiercely over its hoard. No explanation available for this behavior. Further research required. Prey, peeper, and other small herbivores. Assessment: coerce or avoid.
Okay. Now that's
There is a lot of them. Bladderfish. This unusual herbivore appears mostly defenseless. 1. A small permeable membrane. This lifeform is able to filter seawater into its body cavity through a unique membrane, removing and consuming organic particulate caught on the way. 2. Open-ended vascular tubing. Can be angled and contracted to pump out water and achieve a low-velocity guided propulsion. Largely oblivious to threats. Its only identified defense mechanism: it is 95% cartilage. Assessment: membrane may have applications as a natural water filter.
yeah, you can turn that one into water. Oh, this one. Nope, that's it. This one's shorter.
Boomerang, a herbivore encountered in large numbers, found to frequent shallow waters and move in schools. 1. Serrated teeth. Suggests adaptation for grinding coral. 2. Twin fins. Unusually, this species' two fins are cartilaginous extension of its skeleton, less prone to damage, harder to grow back, more active during daylight hours, and prone to flee on approach. Assessment: edible.
Oh.
Caution. Mild
Gary
dehydration
fish.
detected.
Slow-moving and curious herbivore. Camouflage indicates adaptation for evasive behavior on the ocean floor. 1. Eye stalks. May be beneficial when watching for predators from hiding places amongst the coral. Assessment: edible. Low calorie count.
Could you redo the first part? Because I got thirsty and it played, like, just this first little part.
The slow-moving and curious herbivore. Camouflage indicates adaptation for evasive behavior
Okay,
on the
that's
ocean
good.
floor.
It's just because the water thing played.
Gasopod, a slow-moving life form capable of filling the water with a poisonous and corrosive compound capable of dissolving even synthetic fibers. 1. Filtration system. Multiple gill layers appear to render this creature impervious to the noxious clouds it produces. 2. Algae gland. A bulbous sac-like appendage on the rear end. A luminescent yellow algae grows inside the sac and produces the poisonous compound. Abdominal muscles contract when the creature is stimulated, causing the algae gland to emit the noxious compound into the surrounding waters. 3. Large pelvic fins, capable of powerful movement through the water when moving in small herds. Gasopods appear to be social in nature, and may even use their emissions in their relationship rituals. Assessment: use caution. The whole fish. That's a hole.
It's a joke. It's not whole, but it has a hole in it.
A small herbivore found in low numbers. Coloration suggests adaptation for cave environments. 1. Bored out tail fin. By manipulating the size and shape of the hole in its tail, it can perform unpredictable maneuvers. Smaller than most other herbivores, presumably due to the lack of vegetation in low-light environments. Shows little fear of predators. Assessment: edible. Hoverfish. A small, cautious herbivore commonly found in shallower environments. 1. Charged foot pads. 6 unique limb appendages feature charged pads capable of ionizing the surrounding water. The hoverfish appears to use this ability to maintain its position against the current as it feeds from kelp and lichen. Assessment: edible. The peeper. A fast prey fish encountered in large schools and shallow waters. 1. Developed side-mounted eyes. Well adapted to recognize and flee as many predators. Also, rich in protein. 2. Powerful fins. Enables rapid acceleration and the ability to leap meters out of the water. 3. Beak. Likely used to break down corals and tough vegetation. Reliance on visually identifying predators may leave it vulnerable in low-light environments. Assessment: edible. High calorie count.
Okay, I need to get water, so I'll be back once I have water.
Emergency.
We did read the beaver.
Okay, next, rabbit ray.
Rabbit ray, a herbivore. A herbivorous aquatic life form with highly poisonous flesh. 1. Poisonous flesh. Large and without other defense mechanisms, the rabbit ray appears to have evolved poisonous flesh to ward off predators. Undulating wings. Main method of steady transportation. Diet: grasses and kelps. Assessment: inedible, but harmless. Reefback. Limited data available. 1. That is a word I do not know. 1. Chitinous plating, thick enough to interfere with spectroscope scanner. 2. Unidentified pods. Unknown purpose. Green in color. Visually similar to the gasopod's algae gland. 3. Tentacles. Total length range upwards of 25 meters. Tentacles will provide low-speed propulsion. Sociable. Seen traveling in small pods. Behavior consistent with low-level sentience. Predators? Unknown. Assessment? Additional data required. Reginald. Common prey fish. Filters algae and other plant materials from the water via 4 gill-like front-mounted orifices. 1. Coloration. Dull green coloration for deep water camouflage. Luminescent tail coloration, likely part of mating behavior. Assessment: edible. High calorie count.
Okay, I think I'll have to get more food after this one.
Spadefish, a common herbivore that seems to avoid shallower waters. 1 single eye. Observed swimming near the seabed from where it can keep its one eye on predators in the water above. 2. Mottled green coloration. Commonly encountered in plant-rich environments, the spadefish is well adapted to hide amongst the vegetation. Assessment: edible.
Okay, that's the end of the herbivores.
Scavengers and parasites, starting with the bleeder.
I hate those things.
A simple parasitic organism, little more evolved than the common space tick. 1. Ductile sac, used for collection and digestion of blood. 2. Jaw, rows of teeth and
Caution.
And
Dehydration
mandibles.
detected.
used to attach to the skin of its victims. Prey, known to target live organisms. The bleeder's low speed and poor defenses suggests they have evolved primarily as carrion feeders. Assessment: inconvenient and unhygienic.
Okay, let me just get that. Then I have something to eat.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Do I have water?
Vital signs stabilizing.
Okay, we're good.
Floater. 1. Dominant life form. Evolutionary abnormality. Further research required. 1. Dominant life form. Structural analysis reveals that this entity is made up of 2 separate species. The pink main body and inner jaws are the dominant creature. 2. The microorganism membrane. The outer gel-like substance is a mesh of microorganisms capable of forming a sealed vacuum around the creature's jaws. 3. Air buffer. A thin layer of helium is stored within the outer membrane, providing buoyancy. Life form has been observed almost exclusively attaching to large boulders. Appears entirely vulnerable to artificial detachment and indiscriminate in what it is reattached to. Assessment: further data required. Shuttlebug. A common scavenger at the base of the food chain. 1. Mouth parts. Small enough to be of no threat to even small organisms, this creature is clearly adapted to feed on the waste products of the ecosystem around it. 2. 3 mandibles. Used to orient themselves when drifting and to filter through detritus on the cave floors. The species' presence may indicate a nearby cave system. 3. 3 legs. High-strength muscles can propel the life form great distances through the water, as well as ambulating them across the sea floor. Assessment: harmless.
And we are almost done this, so...
Into the flora. Acid mushroom, a common spore-bearing fungi species with developed defense mechanisms. The flesh contains a highly acidic compound which leaches into the water if the outer skin is penetrated. Fluctuations in the local water pressure may cause them to shrink. It is not clear which predator species necessitated such extreme countermeasures, but the acid mushroom's numbers suggest it has successfully deterred most of them. Assessment: inedible. Applications in battery fabrication. The blue palm. The blue palm is a common aquatic plant which thrives in shallower waters with high exposure to sunlight. Long fronds intercept light before it can reach the smaller flora on the seabed. Crashfish plant. The plant species appears to share a symbiotic relationship with the aquatic life form that nests inside it. The petal-like structures appear undamaged when the life form emerges, and likely remain open until the nest is reclaimed by the original owner, or another. Further information on this relationship is not possible from studying the plant in isolation. Trace amounts of sulfuric residue have been detected on the inner leaves. Assessment: applications and repair tool construction. Creepvine, a kelp species concentrated in large forests and shallow sandy waters. Loose roots anchor the plant to the sea floor, from where it grows steadily towards the surface in pursuit of sunlight. The stem is fibrous and rich in iron, making it both a viable foodstuff and base material for fabrication of textiles such as rope and bandages. Predators: hoverfish, rabbit ray, and paper. Assessment: vital alien resource, edible, medicinal, construction applications.
Yeah, and I hope you can hear the person who's talking, because I just had to move the mic for it to work.
Furled papyrus. The function of the distinctive curled leaves on this aquatic plant is not immediately clear. It is possible the leaves unfurl in low light conditions, or that they are designed to channel water currents through the main body of the plant, thus enhancing nutrient take-up. Tiger plant. This plant is adapted to sense fluctuations in the water at up to 15 meters and is capable both of prehensile movement of its tubes as well as propelling thorns at speeds of up to 10 meters per second. Although capable of incapacitating small herbivores, this plant lacks carnivorous digestive organs. Would-be predators caught in its defensive perimeter serve as a warning to other herbivores not to approach. And then, as they decompose, they serve as fertilizer for the tiger plant. Assessment: avoid or incapacitate. Vein nettle, a common shallow water plant which frequently shows signs of predation along the edges of the leaves. Thick violet veins carry nutrients to the extremities of the fan, and bright-colored seeds grow around the base and stem. Violet bow, a common luminescent plant which grows in patches on the seabed. Writhing weed, well adapted to both shallow waters and cave systems, this plant lives in symbiosis with coral species which form around the base of the stems.
And now onto the data downloads.
Operational log. Analysis confirms this wreckage is from the Aurora. Outer layers of the material have oxidized, suggesting it has been heated to over 1200 Celsius. This pattern is consistent with hull disintegration during atmospheric entry. Inner layers contain enough residual titanium to be reclaimed at the fabricator.
Caution. Mild
Planetary
dehydration
geology.
detected. Fluid intake
Limestone
recommended.
outcrops. These unusual geological structures often form around titanium and copper deposits and are distinct to this planet. Closer analysis reveals the stone around the metal has been hardened against erosion, but the mechanism remains unknown. Assessment: titanium and copper source. Sandstone outcrops. These common porous outcrops seem to form around small amounts of precious metals, or otherwise these metals are part of a sedimentary buildup over time. Assessment: silver and gold source.
Okay, and now we can...
Into the technical equipment. Still suit. The industry standard still suit is designed to minimize water loss while exploring hostile environments by filtering and recycling bodily fluids. Yummy. The still suit because drinking reclaimed urine is better than death by dehydration. Reclaimed water is stored in containers for later consumption. Normal production rate is 2 bottles per day. Filters contaminants from no less than 4 different bodily excretions. Blood and sweat may be effectively processed. Upgrade to Mach 2 to make the most of tears. Onboard flavor neutralizers can be activated at startup. Flavor neutralizer not included on all models. Habitats. Planters and pots. Interior planters come in a variety of configurations and allow for most plant species to be grown in small numbers for decorative or botanical use. Power. Bioreactor. On planets where organic matter is plentiful, but sunlight is not, a reliable bioreactor will frequently prove the most efficient power solution. May be installed in any multi-purpose habitat room. Chemically composts organic materials, converting them into energy over time. Accepts all plant matter, from seeds and spores to moldy fruits and vegetables. Can also process animal matter, fat, muscle, eggs, etc., and some organic waste products. Energy production is proportionate to the calories in the organic matter. Vehicles. Sea Glide. The Sea Glide is a personal transportation device designed for use in oceanic environments. Capable of speeds up to 10 meters per second in standing water. Displays basic topographical data for aid in charting cave systems. Replaceable battery. Seamoth. The Seamoth is a one-person submersible with an independent replaceable power cell and a fully customizable design. Most long-range mining vessels carry at least 2 submersibles of this class to facilitate the exploration and exploitation of water-bearing planetoids. Rating: top speed 13 meters per second. Acceleration: 5 meters per second per second. Distance per power cell: 10 kilometers. Crush depth: 200 meters below sea level. Upgrade module slots: 4. Dimensions: 3 meters by 1.5 by 1. Persons: 1. Seamoth may be modified by installing upgrade modules to the access point mounted by default on the upper left wing. These include increased cargo storage, superior power, pressure and collision compensation, enhanced sonar, defensive capabilities. No bien. These modules may only be manufactured in an appropriately outfitted moon pool.
Okay, well, we're done now, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye!